What up guys, welcome back to The Educated Barfly. Today I thought it would be kind of fun to tackle some really strange drink recipes, but I kind of want to make a little bit of a disclaimer here because this video is not going to be about me tasting disgusting things and gross cocktails. What this cocktail video is going to be more in line with the philosophy behind our channel, which is finding legitimate recipes that are weird flavor pairings and really strange things that may work or may not work, but they're all drinks that were put forth by their creators that are edible, drinkable cocktails that are not supposed to shock or disgust anybody. They are a little bit strange. I'm gonna be mixing them for the first time today, but I just wanted to, I don't know, kind of dash your hopes. It's not like I'm gonna be drinking, like the cement mixer or the horse jizz or like any of those gross cocktails. These are legit. So every recipe that we have today are from legitimate bars and respectable bartenders. Today's video is sponsored by one of my favorite companies, Shaker & Spoon. Shaker & Spoon is a monthly subscription box service that delivers the craft cocktail experience right to your door. Each box contains 3 recipes from world-class bartenders, all centered around one spirit. So all you need to do is buy 1 bottle and Shaker & Spoon does the rest. Each box contains enough ingredients to make 4 cocktails for each recipe, so 12 cocktails total. And every box has everything that you'll need, from bitters to syrups to tinctures, sodas, garnishes, it's all there. And another thing that's really great is that it kind of gets you outside of your comfort zone. So instead of just making the same cocktails that you always make all the time, every box brings you a new booze and new ingredients and new techniques, so you can really get out there and explore the world of cocktails. So click the link below and type in Barfly at checkout, or go to shakerandspoon.com/Barfly for $20 off your first box and introduce yourself to the world of at-home cocktails. That's shakerandspoon.com/Barfly for $20 off your first box. So the very first cocktail we're doing today is called an Iceland Dill Martini. It was created by Reyka brand ambassador Trevor Schneider. Of course, we're gonna be using Reyka vodka because that's what he would use, although you don't necessarily have to use that particular vodka. I chose this particular cocktail because since the Dirty Martini is such a big, very popular martini to make, it's called at every single bar. Every third person who orders a martini wants one. It's like the most famous, I guess, vodka martini. People have been putting recipes forth to try to make one out of pickle brine, and I always thought they've fallen short, so I have really high hopes for this cocktail. Okay, this is gonna be a very simple drink. We're gonna do half an ounce of pickle brine. Now, you wanna choose fancy pickles, I think, and you wanna really choose pickles that you kind of know what the brine is going to taste like, because pickling spices inside brine are proprietary for every single company and you can get some really wacky flavors in there. So just make sure you know what you're putting into the drink. I wanted to go with something that's like a really classic dill pickle flavor, but I wanted something that was a little bit more flavorful than like Vlasic or something, And so I picked these Bubby's kosher dill pickles. All right, so we're going to do half an ounce of the kosher dill, 10 mustard seeds, 10 mustard seeds. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of Reyka vodka. I know you've heard me go on and on and on and on and on and on about how you should stir martinis. The fact of the matter is that you can actually shake your martini. When you do so, you wanna make sure you use a big rock of ice like this. You're gonna get a lot of aeration and you're gonna get very low dilution. So you're not gonna over dilute the cocktail, which is always what the fear is with shaking martinis. When you shake martinis with regular ice, it just adds so much dilution to it, and this is just a good way to control that. You wanna make sure though that this tempers and is not cloudy anymore, so we're gonna wait a little bit to put this in the tin so that it doesn't break apart. Ice that's just out of the freezer is really brittle and it will fracture inside the tin. But if you let it temper, it should stay in one piece. Okay, so we're gonna use a Nick and Nora glass because this is a low volume cocktail, and then we're gonna take a little dry vermouth and we're gonna rinse the glass with it. We're gonna make sure that we coat the inside of the glass with that dry vermouth like so. Roll it around. And then, get rid of the excess. Okay, this is nice and tempered. All right, here we go. Let's try this martini. I got a little bit of breakage in there. So I'm assuming that the aeration of this drink is going to help it, even though you're kind of, when you're doing martinis, you're sort of trying to avoid that. For our garnish, we're gonna do a tiny pickle. Let's give it a taste. I mean, it's not the most complex flavored thing. It tastes like I mean, I was hoping that the pickle brine and the dry vermouth would give like a really subtle something. It's really weird. The flavor is weird. Well, here's the thing. I've tasted a lot of different attempts at this particular style cocktail, right? And it's just pickle brine does not really lend to a martini in the same way that olive juice does for whatever reason. Maybe it's like the tanginess of it, or maybe it's just the spices don't go well. But I gotta say that the melding of the dry vermouth and the pickle brine together, it doesn't work that well. It really doesn't. And then, obviously the vodka is pretty neutral. Yeah, I don't know how well it works, and I'm not really sure what the mustard seed did to the overall thing. Like, the mustard seed on its own has a very subtle sort of spice to it, but I don't think it really came through in the cocktail. It's not bad, but it's not my thing, for sure. Definitely not my thing. It's weird. It is weird. It is a weird cocktail. I'm not really sure what the aeration of the ingredients really did for it, and, stuff and things. Maybe I was supposed to add a shitload of water to this. Like, maybe I was supposed to add just regular ice in the shaking tin and just like shake it with regular ice so that it just add like a whole bunch of water to it. Lots of aeration, lots of chill. There it is, the Iceland Dill Martini. So the next cocktail we're doing is from Anthony Bollinger over at Maison Premier in New York City. Maison Premier is an oyster cocktail joint, and it is fantastic. It makes some of the best cocktails in the world. And this one's called a Row Your Boat. I chose it because it pairs salmon roe with a chocolate vodka cocktail. It's pretty awesome. So we have this big piece of ice because the first thing we're gonna have to do is make a little ice shell for the garnish. All right, so we have our ice shavings, and then we're gonna take a citrus squeezer. If you have a metal one like this, it works a lot better. And then we're gonna put the ice shavings into the citrus squeezer like so. And then we're just gonna press it down, and that'll make like a bowl. And then it tends to get stuck, and I haven't figured out like a better way of doing it than to just like push it out like that. And then you have your ice bowl here. Now we gotta put this in the freezer and let it refreeze so that it strengthens. It's gonna be a really simple cocktail. All we're gonna do is take a glass, we want a double old-fashioned glass, and then we're gonna do 2 dashes saline solution. This is 20% saline solution. You wanna do 20 grams of salt in 80 grams of water. And there's about 10 drops per dash, so we're gonna do 20 drops of saline solution. 1/4 ounce, a white chocolate liqueur, 1/4 ounce of white creme de cacao, 1.5 ounces of vodka. We're using the Reka again, because why not? We're gonna take some pebble ice, put it in a healthy scoop, and then we're gonna swizzle it. Now, if you don't have a swizzle stick like this, you can use a bladed spoon or anything of this sort. I'm just gonna put this in there, give it a nice swizzle. I'm gonna finish it with some more pebble, like so. We're gonna take a lemon peel, give it a little twist. I'm just gonna do something like that. We're gonna just put that ice shell right on top, like so. And then we're just gonna add the salmon roe to our ice shell. Yeah, it's chocolate vodka. Very White Russian-y, maybe a little bit more vodka-ish, but what I really wanna try is a sip weird. I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's weird. The salmoniness goes really well with the white chocolate vodka mixture. Really pretty good, actually. I gotta say, I'm very surprised. And there you have the Row Your Boat. The next cocktail we're doing today is more of a cooking lesson and less of a cocktail. It was created by Jerry Nivens, who is the co-founder of Snow & Company in Kansas City. It is a Bloody Mary variation that I think you guys are gonna find kind of interesting, and it's definitely one that I wanted to try. You wanna start with a medium metal bowl. That's what the directions called for. I don't know why the bowl should be metal. We are gonna be using an immersion blender, which you kind of need to use to execute this recipe. I guess you could do it in a regular blender. 4 1/4 ounces of simple syrup. So 4 1/4 ounces of lemon juice. 1 1/4 ounces of water. 6 3/4 ounces of pepper vodka. Now the recipe calls for jalapeno infused vodka, but I have this really awesome green chili vodka that I wanna use. 10 ounces of tomato juice. 13.5 ounces of milk. First of all, we're just gonna give this on low Just like a mix to combine it all, right? Okay, now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this blender on here at medium speed, and we're gonna add the milk in slowly. And what we're gonna attempt to do is emulsify it, and that's gonna take care of the curdling problem. Now, we also know that curdling happens, but at low temperatures, it happens a lot more slowly. So if everything is chilled and just out of the fridge, it's going to take a little bit more time. But what we're gonna do is just do this very slowly, and we're gonna try to emulsify this. So I'm gonna do this on medium speed so that we make sure to mix it properly. And then very slowly, I'm gonna add that milk in. Then we're gonna take a gallon freezer bag and we're going to add this in. I'm gonna try and get as much of the air out as I can. And we're gonna place this in the freezer for 4 hours. So after 4 hours, this is basically what you got. It is slushy consistency. You wanna make sure that you don't freeze it for too long because there is a higher ratio of non-alcohol in here, so it will freeze into a block. You know, there's not enough alcohol in here to just keep it from freezing. But after 4.5 hours, it kind of looks like shredded salmon. It smells good though. It's pourable. I'm gonna garnish it with a little celery sticks like that. I like the ones with the little leaves, and some tomatoes. Ooh, but it's good. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's good, but it's also like these weird competing flavors of like you've got the lemon and the simple syrup, right? So you basically have a sour, and they're in equal proportion, right? So you're feeling the sugar in there as well. And then you're also tasting the tomato, can't get away from that, and you're tasting the milk. Like it's like this weird flavor. But I went back for 4 sips, it's really good. And I'm not a big Bloody Mary guy. I'd be interested to hear a thing, because I don't know if it's balanced, that's the thing. Bright, citrusy, you feel the sugar, the tomato is completely present. The brightness of the lemon really does complement the tomato really well, actually, which is surprising. The milk doesn't bother me in there at all, although it does have a very creamy vibe to it. I'd like to hear your take on it, honestly. Why don't you come here and taste it? All right, don't spill it there, buddy.
I don't know what it tastes like. It's like that tomatoey.
Tomatoey, lemony.
Lemony and
sweet, right?
And sweet, yeah.
Sugar, right? And then it's kind of creamy too.
It is super creamy. It's like yeah, like a milkshake. I don't know.
But it's not bad though.
No, it's not.
But would you say like, ooh, I'm gonna order that? Like I don't know.
This is what I want
weird.
today.
It's weird. You know, it's really weird.
It's weird, yeah. It's worth a try. Just for the weird sensation of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
weird.
What does it taste like? I don't know.
It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like itself.
It's like we're in the Matrix and the robots got it wrong and they just made it taste like nothing.
Right. All right, there it is. The Proud Mary. That's all I got for you guys today. So I hope you guys go out, make the cocktails, enjoy them. They are all worth a mix. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you on another time.